about to head into the draft here, ladies and gents. We're going to have to recruit the help of Mr. Renmar Santa Cruz all the way from the land of Casper's desk.
Boy, does it sound so far away.
It feels so far away.
I cannot wait to hear for the rest of the playoffs how many times you'll be able to introduce me. Land down under, land of the caster's desk. How more you got, brother?
That's great. That's great. You know, that's great exposure. You know, your name's always gonna pop up. So here we are.
Oh, and there goes the respect
No
back.
Malayan today. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I just have a question, Redmar. Do you expect the Cho to be first banned or first pick a lot here in the series?
First batter pick, probably not. If ever it even dipped out as like a 2-pick swing on the red side. If ever, I think TNC Pro Team can pick it up in second and third. Blue 2-3 would be a good spot for it. But wow, TNC Pro Team are rushing the ban on the Fredrin.
Oh my goodness, hold on.
They know something we don't, and they also understand the trends globally.
And this is a very surprise. Okay, I thought the Fanny was gonna get through, but now this leaves us with a question: what goes first for TNC? Like the picks that most often go into the first pick, the Joy, the Kalea, the Kimmy, they're already out for TNC at this point.
There's that guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Always goes under the radar. Very rarely gets picked up, but we are going to see the chip here today.
This forces a bit of a... This will force an overreaction for Falcons right away. Either they pick up Rush Pick the Juice in, Rush Pick the Low Yi, or if they just want vision, they're gonna like Rush Pick things like maybe even Selena, maybe save that for Red 3.
Yeah.
But instantly they're gonna want crowd control right away. They Rush Pick the Juice in, as we brought up. Whatever this next pick is, has to either be hella crowd control or a strong gold laner that can defend itself and split push or escape like a Moskov if they really want to be safe.
Yeah. Would they consider the Badang again? I mean, earlier it kind of had the same idea, and there you go. And I feel like it'll be a lot more effective this time around since you could actually have an actual signal on whether or not you're gonna throw it out there. If you do see the shortcuts coming up or the teams or the players from TNC just showing up, but it'll take time for Flaptz, especially after game number 1, to sort things out. So TNC this time around, they're still the Hayabusa again.
Yeah.
If they want to pick that here.
I think though, okay, so when you have a chip in your lineup, you're actually encouraged to consider picking up a very tanky style of jungler as well. Because, you know, with how the shortcut works, you can just steamroll with some really beefy dudes all across the map. This isn't a really beefy dude. They do pick up a Suyo, and then the Harith as well. So right now, TNC Pro Team have picked up 2 heroes that mesh very well with the chip play style.
Yeah.
It's just Falcons need to consider rushing way more crowd control here, that when TNC Pro Team go through the portals, they're just going to be met with getting force choked by the Juicin, getting caught out by the Badang, and whatever else they decide to add to that.
Yeah, there's the Gatot Kacha too.
Is there a chance we can see a Hylos or a Baksha here in this slot? Or maybe later on?
It's tanky, although the amount of crowd control it can offer to several members all at once.
Finally.
Or maybe you want your gold later?
Oh!
There's the Lucas! Where have you been? We have been looking for you all day, boy!
Oh my god.
Finally, someone decided to pick up the Lucas. And again, it goes again with the theme that we were talking about. Get caught out on the portal, pop up the Unleash the Beast. So Falcons, I feel like that's enough in terms of trying to respond right away to the chip style lineup.
Yeah.
The question is, in terms of the gold lane pickups, what are they going to go for? They need some instant damage. It can't just be the Lucas that provides that. Because we saw earlier, if it was just like the Juicin +1, nah, it's not going to go
Too slow. Yeah.
Juicin +1, nah, make it a Juicin +2. You need something like either a Moskov or a Granger again, if you can.
And the timings too, like the power spikes, right? Because there are like a lot of options out there in terms of what they could offer, like the AoE, there's the Claw too, but it's gonna take some time as well. And if you don't want the same thing to happen all over again, you might want to opt for a gold laner that could potentially like speed things up or provide a faster power spike overall for your team.
Yeah, I still feel like the Bruno is a little bit underrated in those scenarios. We saw a Clint today before a Bruno, so where you're seeing the priorities. But also on the side of Falcons, it usually is a very bad feeling when you're a Lucas and then you unleash your full combo and then they run away with like a sliver of health after your full combo. So you want someone to be able to clean up.
I wonder if any of these two teams are thinking about picking up an Esmeralda somewhere. Because there's a lot of shields going around. You mentioned Baksha earlier. I think Baksha would be good for either of these two teams. Could be good for Falcons. You get to roam around the map very quickly, check shrubs as well. But then the thing is, when you've used your shield unity, you have no escape. And if you bump into the chip, they'll just call down a portal on you, and then suddenly you're caught out by the rest of TNC.
I mean, even the chip at this point can somehow offer a certain level of chain CC, you know?
True,
like you just do that combo of your 1-2 or your 2 and your 1, and then you lay out the shortcut, and then there's an additional stun that you have to think about. So they just go for the Ranger that's at least range that will keep you out of danger if ever the TNC does decide to go all in.
Yeah, if we're talking about cleanups, Granger's great at that.
Yeah, one of the heroes that we mentioned. I think a Farsa would be okay here for TNC Pro Team. You have the Wings by Wings to go around quite safely. Harith, you have two strong sources of burst magic damage. And then your EXP laner can honestly, it has to be something tanky as well, because it's going to be another roamer. That it needs to be able to substitute as a roamer. Just go high loss.
The high loss, I think the high loss, it could like slow things down for Falcons or speed things up for TNC.
Esmeralda, but not where I expected it to be.
Wait.
It seems like my feeling was right that it was going to be an Esmeralda picked up by someone somewhere.
And they got the Eve too. So they avoided like Team Falcons getting the Esmeralda themselves and making advantage of all those shields. Now it's Team Falcons left with their potential EXP as I believe it's more likely than not the roamers that were still lacking for Team Falcons. So the Tigreal was there, you did mention that earlier, but like there's so many things you need to stop from TNC.
Yeah, I personally really like the Badang on roam. I feel like you can set up a lot more on the roam. XP is okay, but you know, they're swapping it out. That's gonna be roam Baksha, isn't it?
Wait, wait.
No, it's not. Oh, no, it's
XP Baksha.
It's an XP Baksha.
They switched things up this time. All right. Well, I mean, we did mention that the Baksha, if he bumps into a chip, he's like, oh no, I'm in. Here comes the portal and 4 other dudes.
At least Flap gets to like choose his targets instead. Like he can go for other people other than those right in front of them already. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup, definitely. How does Team Falcons reset and take back game number 2 this time?
I mean, I like the lineup, but we'll have to wait and see if this can actually scale up well enough. Honestly, everyone knows the power of the early game Lucas jungle. So maybe if they can get some first bloods early, a lot of early kills early on, maybe they can stop the Esme and the Harith from going crazy. Let's have to find out though if that can happen as we load up for game number 2 of Falcons and TNC.
Battle of the Skies once again, jumping into game number 2 in this best of 5. TNC, maybe surprising some, but they played one hell of a game, number 1, and now we're jumping into it. Can they even out the series here for Falcons? We'll find out. I think the draft is interesting, man. Yeah, there's some switching going on here, but we seem to see a lot of this combo now, the Badang with the Baksha.
Yeah, and we can't forget the fact that Ogwin, this is one of his signature heroes alongside his cousin all throughout Season 15. And not to mention, Kyle TZ was one of the first players to actually pull off the Lucas jungle successfully. I remember the time he did it back in SPS where there was a stretch that he had a good time with Lucas.
Quick rotation out of the EXP lane by Flap. TZ, Zyda in the red.
Now they're chasing right after Zyda. Good response there from Gawi to try and sacrifice and save Zyda.
Okay, Zyda does stay alive, but he's going to lose some ground here, too. So Kyle TZ, a little bit of a lead, hitting that level 4 already, and we'll take some more camps. Good push, though, up top, taking advantage for 3 Mark.
I mean, that's what's going to happen. I believe that was an entire team call to tell FlapTZ, get out of the EXP lane. We'll try to find a way to balance things out with the Esmeralda later on, but just help us secure a very early kill. So that was a team, maybe it was even a coach call at the end of the draft where Trevor was telling Falcons, all right, guys, FlapTZ, get out of the lane, just clear it up real quick, invade, go for the golem, see if you can get a kill there, and they were able to do just that.
Yeah.
We're really traveling together here too, and I like that Ingon mentioned it earlier, you know, when the Lucas was kind of a debate how it worked in the jungle. There was very few that were able to make it work. Kyle TZ being one of them, Demon Kite another one of them. And it's been pretty devastating, you know, especially early on. So this is going to be an objective secured already for Falcons. First turtle of the game goes in their hands.
Yeah, and there was the strong start that Rockhard mentioned a while ago that can happen if you have a Lucas jungle. And if I can recall correctly, Kyle TZ mentioned that the reason why his Lucas actually performs well in international events is because it's harder to pull it off locally.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said. I asked the question.
Yeah. All right, Kyle.
That's a little heated there, Ingon. You know?
What are you trying to say about the other region?
That came from Kyle TZ.
Yeah,
I mean, backtrack.
We're messing with you.
Redmar, you were there. You were beside me.
Yeah, I know. We were doing the interview at the same time.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. All right, so I'm interested to see how else FlapTZ is going to be playing this game, because you're definitely not going to win the lane up against the Esmeralda as a Baksha. The best that you could do is just beat the Esmeralda in map presence, which so far he has done. Well, for one big rotation. How many more times can he do that? Well, let's see. Because again, 3 more TZ could just dance on this Baksha all day long.
I feel like this is such a great showcase of like Flap's personality. Like Baksha seems to be the hero to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And all right, old man, back in my day, when he was a rookie in Season 6, it was actually the Baksha and the EXP lane that he made a name for himself with. In the height of Bren Esports, OG Bren Esports with Carl TZ.
Yep. So that's the first hero he made a name for himself for?
Well, one of them. It was a interesting era for EXP laners, and unique Baksha, and even at that time there was a unique Barrett's EXP lane pickup that was so good.
I think it's funny, man. Like XP lane, I feel like has had the interesting eras.
Oh yeah.
It's got like those really just standard Eternal Battle ones, and then it's got the really exciting ones. Then you have the Bruiser ones, and then you had like where we are now, where it's like there's a lot of good picks that you can bring to a team composition, but usually, like you mentioned, sometimes it's your XP laners being kind of your roamers in a sense, you know, and the way it's working. So this is just another turtle going in the hands here of Falcons. It is a objective, though, also on the other side for TNC. They do get that turret, first one of the game down.
Yeah, so TNC rotating topside of Turtle 2. They fully understood that the weak side is the EXP lane in the lineup here of Falcons. Just broke down that tower. 3 more TZs getting items very well. He is at 3,100 gold, FlapTZ at 2.4. So that's already a significant lead in the EXP lane at this point of the game. 5 minutes in. But yeah, that's because FlapTZ isn't a lane duelist in this scenario. He's, again, a sub-roamer.
Yeah, his job is literally just to kind of clear things out and rotate around and go from there. And then drop his Revitalize when he has to. Part of that, too, is obviously the passive that comes with it. So I think this is, you know, if we were looking at anything from Game 1 where Yawi was so aggressive and proactive on the Kalea, he's going to have a little bit of a different time here. Hold on, bottom lane.
Shield Unity connects onto Benecute. He has to use the Zaman Force. Falling Star Moon 4-3 Martizi paired up with the real world manipulation, but still no casualties for both teams.
Yeah, great formation there by Falcons. And you see FlapTZ full utility right now. It's Ogwin who's going to be... It's in his hands for the setups and holding on to it. A much better game, definitely this time around by Falcons. Even though they lost the tower up top, they're equalizing it. They have a very slight gold lead. And yeah, they can just rotate well at this point compared to game number 1 where they just felt helpless.
Yeah, this one is a lot more standard, I would say, and clean, at least for Falcons with this kind of lineup that they can play with. But as I was saying earlier, I think a big part of this is still how do they go ahead and play against what Yawi can do. Looks like 3 Mars is going to go ahead and get out of there. Didn't even need to use the flicker, so they're fine. Turtle's going to come up, though, and Falcons is in position. They really want to lock down these objectives as they continue to put pressure now on this top side turret. I'm not sure if TNC is even really in a fighting position, though. You know, like, if you think about it, they gotta let Benny Cutie farm up, as he does in the bottom lane. They might try turret for the turtle here, but that's the thing. If you think about the 4 members that they have, they really have to catch Falcons off guard or get the RWM in the right place to have Zyda come in with that damage.
Yeah, it's like the Harith has another condition for the fight, and it's the Eve.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta pair those two up together really well, especially with the type of lineup that Falcons has brought to the table. I agree with that. Let's see if TNC Pro Team can eventually find that, or if when Benny Cutie finally fulfills the second item, wait, in the middle of the map, TNC's gonna get caught out, but it looks like they'll be able to escape.
Oh! Phew! Catches 3 Martheezy there with the Lantern Flare. Now Kyle Teasy onto Lancey. Might be able to take him down, and he will do so successfully. Yawi again caught in the middle, up against 4. Super Marco picks up the kill.
Oh, Benny. I don't think he's not online yet enough.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we were kind of segueing in, you know, into. Like, Benny's got his own thing he's got to do, and that's just farm up, because even if they find those moments, and let's say more members of Falcons were down, Benny just doesn't have that damage just yet on the Harith. Takes a little more time to cook there. So that's another turret that will fall. Falcons bringing the lead now, just about to 3,000 gold or a little more. Yawi, he's going to pop that conceal. He's like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, he has to. Kyle TC spots out his
oh, no.
wide walk now. Even used the red re up against 5. Yawi, where are you going to go? Where are you going to look? Who's going to get the kill? Of course, they're going to bring it to Super Marco.
Ooh, turned him into a Sky Piercer stack.
Yeah.
Well, what a punish there by Falcons. And yeah, TNC Pro Team have completely left their comfort zone from game number 1. As it seems like what works for Falcons is to just pick up beefy dudes that can just run over you. Literally what they are in real life.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. You know, the Baksha kind of fits the flap persona, you know? All he needs, all the Baksha needs is a skin where he can actually, like, flex while he's rolling around.
Yeah, I think we're just going to see a lineup full of shirtless dudes for the rest of the series for Falcons, and it just works out for them. Just muscles on muscles.
Dude,
with a mage.
MPL Philippines needs to do a piece of content where they take the Onyx boys and the Falcon boys, and they have, like, a lift-off or something.
Oh, yeah.
And you should host it, Naisu.
And I'll host it.
Yeah.
We can host it, you know?
Yeah.
Renmar can host it. Renmar's a gym guy, too.
Yeah. Have you seen his scalps?
Yeah, she's got the best calves out of everybody, dude.
That's actually true,
That's
folks.
actually true.
We are not capping.
We're not calving.
Okay, Yawi.
All right.
Yawi flickers in, already cast the ultimate, but they were prepared for it as Kyle Teasy picks up a kill, and the Lord. Benny Cutie doing his best, but Ogwin catches him. Here comes you from the back, zoning out every single member. 4 Phoenix Army down through Marteezy, has to flicker out. Was able to get away, but Falcons, no casualties, plus the Lord.
It's so violent. It's a lineup jacked up on like 20 grams of creatine
each
with a mage.
You don't have to loading phase, guys. You can just take the 5 grams a day.
TNC has no kills. After what they did to Falcons in game number 1, Falcons are just running over them right now. Pure stampede.
This is literally brute force.
Yes, brute force. This is what they just called back to. This is what they were doing in Season 6. Well, not really, because Carl Teasy was playing Marksman and Assassins at the same time back then, but it's just dudes on dudes.
Yeah, and this is a pretty bad situation to be in. I mean, okay, Yawi, you'll get out of there, but man, like, again, you're you know, almost 8,000 gold behind. Shield's already popped in the mid and the bottom. The Lord is still up here, so that top turret shield's gonna go down too. And this is looking a little dire for TNC. It just feels like the fire that they had on the Phoenix from game 1 has been doused out for now.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, TNC, even Benny Cutie had more kills than the whole squad of Team Falcons. They took it personally. 0-9 so far, but who knows? Maybe one Hail Mary play from Yawi. One good ultimate can turn the tides for them. Yeah. But with a 7.5k gold lead, even if TNC manages to wipe out Falcons, they're easily going to bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, the draft philosophy of Falcons here is similar to what TNC Pro Team showed in game number 1. In game number 1, it was everything for the 1-1.
Yeah.
This lineup is everything for Super Marco. They did that in game number 1 too. It was also a Granger, but it just didn't fare out well. The TNC lineup was purely better. But here this time around, now that they have significantly more damage that can be up in your face, can throw his body, still deal a significant amount of damage in the Lucas compared to the Suyo, then yeah, you're gonna have an easier time around. I feel like this is what Falcons wanted to do in game number 1, except this time they have a much better piece in the Lucas, and they don't have to worry about the 1-1.
And the big part of this box and why he's popping up so much too is the fact that the amount of pressure that he brings, where like even if you're just rolling around and you're not actually planning to initiate, but you just kind of do that fake out jump, you know, like that's enough to keep people from guessing or initiating themselves. And it's a way that Falcons can play, or any team rather, that takes that box show. And mind you, this lets Flap, because he brought it in the XP lane, be a lot more proactive. If you think about the, for example, team fight participation in essence, when it's a boxer, you're going to have a way easier time to do it than really majority of the XP laners that are available right now in the current meta. So Flap's been a big part of why Falcons has just been winning these team fights time and time again, where it also takes some of the pressure from Ogwin away, where he can be a little more kind of choosy on how he wants to initiate with this Badang. So this Lord, it's just going to go in the hands unless Yaoi tries to do something.
Oh, he charges on Super Marco, but Kyle TC secures the Lord. Here comes the whole squad of the Phoenix Army. But the first target there is Benny Cutie as a Falcon clapback is there. They pick up 3 more TZ, surrounded by 5, and instantly demolished him.
He walked into the gym without a membership. Not like that.
That's walking to the gym without your headphones. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go home.
I'm going to run that.
Oh. Wait a minute, though. Zyda got caught out again. Super Marco picks up his 6th kill. Now, Team Falcons has a 9K gold lead.
It's so violent. TNC has 0 kills. I mean, I gotta commend Yaoi for him trying to drop the portal down onto Super Marco, but he got the flicker out, dash out in time. And when the rest of TNC came in, they're right in the middle of the Juicens Lantern, and then everyone else on the side of Falcons.
Oh, that's a oh man, this is. I don't know if they end it here. Do they end it here?
Yeah, they can. Ogwen flickers in. Here comes the real world manipulation though. Benny Cutie trying to work on Ogwen, but lacks the damage. As the Lord being worked on here by TNC, Benny Cutie already popped his Zaman Force, and Yaoi just got bursted down by Super Marco with a Piercer of 770 stacks. Minions onto the middle lane. Kyle TZ with Unleash the Beast, and Team Falcons might be able to win this game without a single death. Kyle TZ though. Winter Crown play, clutch a triple for Super Marco. Benny QT left, and Team Falcons with a huge bounce back.
Super Marco capped it off with a maniac. Yeah, TNC got kills, but no, that was a violent victory for Team Falcons Philippines.
Hey, Super Marco.